Hello, everyone. Dr. Victoria Skirbo here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. It's time for Taroscopes. We're going to be doing the Taroscopes for the sign of Taurus. That's Taurus Sun, Taurus Moon, or Taurus Rising for the month of July 2023. Before we get to the tarot part of this, we're going to first look at the scope part, which is the astrology. Just this is a general astrological reading with a little bit of a what do I want to say? Looking at it specifically from the perspective of Taurus, but there's general stuff in here. So we have Taurus is a Venus ruled sign, and Venus spends most of the month, or all of the month in Leo, but part of the month retrograde. So Venus goes retrograde on the 22nd of July. That's the same day that the sun moves into Leo. So we have a lot of Leo energy this summer, and Leo happens to be the square your Taurus planets. So we have a crisis in action square between the Leo energy and the Taurus energy that you have in your chart. So you feel the need to take an action. Now your ruling planet is moving direct until the 22nd, and then it goes retrograde, and it will be retrograde through August as well. And so when a planet goes retrograde, it's time to reevaluate. And when you're dealing with Venus, you're reevaluating your relationships. Now that's also part of the month's picture, because we have the nodes of the moon shifting into Aries and Libra. They were before that, before the 18th of July, when they shift, they were in Scorpio South Node and Taurus North Node. And we certainly have felt that energy over the last 18 months or so. So the node shift, and shortly after the node shift, there's an exact square of Pluto, which has just moved back into Capricorn to the nodes of the moon. And whenever Pluto squares the nodes of the moon, it's an evolutionary imperative for us to evolve. It's about, evolve or die kind of energy with that. And the resolution node for that particular conundrum, because when a planet is square the nodes, you feel sort of caught between the future and the past, and unable to move in either direction, or unable to, you can move, but you can't resolve the issue that needs to be resolved. The resolution node is the South Node, which happens to be in Libra, which is also a Venus ruled sign. So this retrograde period of Venus in Leo is going to be very important for all of us, but especially for those who may have, narcissistic tendencies, because Leo in its negative sense can be that way. What about me? What about me? What about me? Right? So if there's somebody in your life or somebody in the world that's like that, we're going to see some really interesting things. So Venus is in your fourth house. So, and Leo is your fourth house. So this could also be a time when you renovate your home, changes in your family, perhaps reevaluation of your resources. Is your home a resource? How can you utilize your home to sort of reset yourself? That's another way that this could manifest itself. We do have the sun, of course, move into Leo, but for the most part, for most of the month, the sun is in Cancer. And for you, Cancer is your third house of mind. So we have a lot of energy in your local environment. This is a good time, perhaps, to have a party with your neighbors, if you get along with them. If you don't get along with them, this might be an opportunity for you to maybe a peace offering of some sort, if that's even a thing. If not, just go and say hi, bring cookies or something. That would be nice. Being nice to your neighbors. The shift of the nodes for you brings the North Node into Aries. That is your 12th house. and the South Node in your 6th house. And so you may be reevaluating your relationship to service to others, at the same time, sort of reaching into that liminal, or liminal, is that the word I'm looking for? Space of the 12th house, and moving in the direction of a deeper connection with spirit. All right, what else do I want to say? Jupiter is in your sign. It moved into your sign, was it last month or maybe even the month before? Jupiter is in Taurus now. Uranus, of course, is still in Taurus. But there's a lot of that Taurus energy. Jupiter in Taurus, you do have to watch your waistline. Sorry to say that. But it is expansion. And so you could find yourself expanding physically or otherwise. And it is about an increased sense of self-worth and self-esteem. That is really what Jupiter is asking us to do. Plus also an expanded understanding of who you are. Tauruses tend to be a little, in their own place, doing their own thing, not always necessarily care what other people think of them. And this Jupiter allows people to learn about you and learn about the values of Taurus and how important Taurus is. Taurus is all about building firm root systems, right? Stability, tending to the self. And we all need a little bit more of that. And of course, the North Node has been in Taurus for 18 months. And so we're learning those issues as well. Issues about what is essential in our lives. And you, Taurus, are leading the way in that. All right, let's see. Is there anything else I want to say about this? We do have a new moon on the 17th of the month. That new moon is in Cancer. Again, that is your 3rd house. This is an opportunity for you to maybe start a project that has to do with the mind, maybe writing, reporting, exploring. Maybe you want to dabble in media a little bit. That is an opportunity with that new moon. And there is a full moon on the 3rd of July. In fact, the month starts with this full moon in Capricorn with the sun in Cancer. And what that does is it activates the axis of the mind in your chart. And so there is an opportunity to sort of open your mind to new ideas, new revelations, and the like. So I think that's where I'm going to stop. If you want to know specifically about your astrology, I would suggest you get a reading with me if you like. But that's what I see for Taurus. Now let's do the cards. I'm going to be using the Crow Tarot for Taurus, and then I'm also going to be pulling a Spirit of the Wheel meditation card for Taurus as well. Let's see what the cards have to say. What's the story for Taurus in July? Alrighty. A little bit of a allergy headache this morning. As I do this, I'm doing this early for the month of July, but today is the solstice, and soon will be summer. As I'm doing, it's not quite, the sun's still in Gemini as I'm doing this, but yeah, summertime and the living is easy. Kind of. It does have its benefits. But there are parts of the world that are sweltering right now, so just lay low and stay hydrated best you can. Some people have lost their electricity. It's not very good. It's not very good. There's a lot of instability. We're going to have to start paying attention to our own backyards, and how we affect other people's backyards that are none of our business to affect. But that's another story for another day. We start with death. So death is not generally death, like, see you later, Taurus. It's actually a transformational process. It's letting go of the old and being reborn into the new. So you're having a death and resurrection experience right now. Let's see what's challenging that. We have the Three of Cups here. The Three of Cups is friendship, and it's friendship. And if you're changing and you're transforming, sometimes your friends don't like it because they don't recognize you. And very often our friends and the people that we hang out with are people who are going to vibrate at the same level as we do, right? We're at a frequency with them. And if your frequency is changing, you usually change your friends as well. And it can be a little bit sad for some folks, especially because Taurus is very tried and true. They tend to be very loyal in the way that they approach life. And as you change and you see the people that, you would normally be super loyal to, not be happy with the change, it can be disconcerting. So I feel that's the issue there. Underneath it all is the sun. You have been illuminated to who you truly are. It's funny because Uranus will often do that, and Uranus is in Taurus, right? So this is based on a new sense of who you are. This is a card of revelation. Something has been revealed to you, perhaps your true essence. It's also a card that indicates a change in direction. So we have death and rebirth, we have the sun shining, and we have your friends being a little bit upset with the changes that they see in the past. We have the Chariot. These are very powerful cards. Also, I picked 4 cards and 3 cards. I mean, 4 cards, and 3 of them have been major arcana. This in the past says that you have found your path. You have found the road that you're on a new, well, you're not necessarily on a new road, but you're on the road that your soul requires you to be on. And so this is about change and movement. And in fact, you may have moved. You may have recently moved with that Chariot in the past. Let's see what's in the sky. We have the 5 of Wands in the sky. So there is some chaos. There is some, the 5 of Wands is arguments, but it's not necessarily, it's arguments that create energy for creativity. Not everybody's going to agree. It's a little bit like a melee where everybody's sort of fighting, but nobody really wants to hurt each other. But it's possible that you can get clunked on the head and have to get a few stitches, even though it wasn't intentional. There isn't intentionality in this card necessarily, but there is a lot of people with a lot of ideas, and they tend to be fighting each other, either for dominance or just because they see their point of view. It's interesting because this is Wands and this is a Mars card, and Mars happens to be in this month. Mars is in Leo, at least for the beginning of the month, and then I believe it's on the 10th of July when it shifts. Hold on a second. Yeah, Mars shifts into Virgo on the 10th, and Virgo for you is your house of creativity. So there's a lot of creativity with Mars and Virgo after the 10th of July. And again, it's like all coming at once, right? Okay, so let's see, in the immediate future, okay, we have the 7 of Wands. This indicates to me that you have a higher perspective, you have a higher view. It's been somewhat of a struggle, but you do have the right idea here. You have the higher ground, and you can see the other crows clawing at you and making a big fuss. But this is a card of courage and leadership. So lead. How it's seen from the outside, that you're making choices, and not all your choices for some people are, they think you're a little bit nuts. But you're not. You are seeing what you're seeing. You are having a rebirth experience based on a truth of who you really are. So they may not be so pleased with it, but you go, Taurus. We have in a domestic situation the Page of Cups. So this is messages of love, good news. So good news at home, your hopes and fears. The 8 of Wands. This can be either a hope or a fear, and it's about a lot of information coming in all at once. You know, sometimes you fear it because you're like, can I really handle this? I mean, and I do it enough? Or sometimes it's just you're hoping for the information to come in so that people can actually see what you already know. And the outcome, we have the Queen of Wands. This is about having dominion over your spirituality, over your passions, being in charge, stabilizing yourself. This is a Leo card. Remember, I said Leo's real important. This is also a Saturn card, and Saturn is in Pisces. For you, Saturn is in your house of friends. And so there can be some endings and new beginnings when it comes to your friends with that. Let's see if we can pick a major arcana. Oh, the High Priestess. The High Priestess is one of the most powerful feminine energies in the deck, along with the Empress. The Empress is a little bit more Taurian. The High Priestess is a little bit more, it's less, there's less fertility and passion, but there's a lot of knowledge, and knowledge will be, some things that have been hidden will come out, and other things will stay hidden, because part of the energy of the High Priestess is to know and to keep silent. So, but there is definitely information coming out that you did not know before. Very interesting. I'm trying to think here. Okay, sorry, I was thinking if there's anybody out in the world that has a Taurus prominent that this might be inclined towards. Underneath it all, we have the Two of Swords. That's sort of a stalemate. We see that the crow here is blindfolded. Eight of Swords, again, the crow is blindfolded. So this indicates utilizing your intuition to a certain extent in order to move forward. So underneath it all is you are at a stalemate. You had to be very careful about what you said, what you did. You needed to follow your intuition in a situation that was not safe for you to just do what you wanted to do. There's a lot of restriction there. And then we have the King of Cups coming up, and the King of Cups, of course, is dominion over your feelings. And oh, and then I usually only pick three, but I'm going to pull this out because it was there, the Empress card. So Taurus, you're on the right path here. You're absolutely on the right path. You're doing what you need to do. If your friends are truly your friends, they'll understand when they see where this takes you. They will understand and be much more accepting. But the thing is with Taurus is so tried and true, and so like one step in front of the other, and this is what I'm going to do. You're reliable, you're predictable in a way, but now you're not, and that's what's disturbing to a lot of the people who got used to you being, the bull, Ferdinand the bull under the tree smelling the flowers, right? So now things are moving quite quickly, and it's disconcerting for some people. So don't you worry about that. Don't you worry about a thing, mama. 'Cause I'll be standing in the something when you're walking out. All right, let's see what the Spirit of the Wheel Oracle has to say for you, Taurus. Let me just put my crow tarot back in its crow box. I love this deck. I got it when I was in Washington State, which is interesting because the woman who wrote it is from Massachusetts and lives in Washington State. So anyway, who is the writer? MJ Delaney. MJ Delaney. Sorry, I know there's a way to say that. I didn't brush up on my Irish Gaelic. I guess I should have. I miss Ireland. All right, let's see. What does this say? I'm looking out my window and my catalpa tree is blooming. I don't know if you guys know what. I'll put a picture up on my community page, but it's like a tree full of orchids. That's what it looks like, and they smell pretty too. If you're not allergic, if you're allergic, it's not good, but if you're not allergic, it's quite pretty. All right, we have awareness, co-creation, and change. Creator, number one, you are creating your reality. Look at that. That is a powerful card. This is akin to the magician, this card. Okay, let's see what it says. This is a really good deck, and you couldn't say it better than what it says in the book, so I'll read it. The Creator card brings a period of examining your faith and values. There is a strong desire for change and redirection in your life. Here you are given the gift of awareness. A hidden truth may be revealed to you, or a new understanding unveiled to you in the near future. Well, that's exactly what your card said, didn't it? I love when things agree. This newfound information will bring about necessary changes. Connect with the oneness of Great Spirit through your prayers and beliefs. Co-create the hopes and dreams you have envisioned by experiencing change, letting go of whatever is no longer serving your highest good. The Creator card is a gentle reminder that if you have faith in Great Spirit and yourself, you can overcome any obstacle towards change. Having faith in the great mystery allows the necessary changes to unfold. This is your prayer. With the greatest of honor, I open myself to the complete truth of who I am. I trust, Great Spirit, that you will assist me on my path. Help me to build my dreams and develop my potential for the higher good. Well, it looks like that's exactly what's happening for you, Taurus. Congratulations. I know it's been challenging. It's been a challenging journey. All right. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful month. Like and subscribe if you would. If you would like to have a reading with me, there are links below. If you'd like to become a patron on my Patreon page, that's very helpful to me as well. But just a thumbs up and a share is also great. Take care, everyone. I'll see you next month. Namaste.